The bright lights of the Hollywood studio beamed down like artificial suns, casting a golden glow over the polished floor where history and hilarity were about to intermingle. It was a day filled with the scent of hairspray, the hum of professional cameras, and the palpable electricity of nervous excitement. From the heart of the entertainment capital of the world, the legendary music began to swell, signaling the start of another delightful episode of the Newlywed Game. This was not just a television show, it was a celebration of fresh starts, shared secrets, and the enduring charm of young love. The announcer's voice boomed with practiced enthusiasm, introducing the stars of the day. There was couple number 1, April and Joe Evancheri, who had walked down the aisle only 5 months ago, still basking in the glow of their recent nuptials. Next came couple number 2, Stacey and Rip Nevels, who had been hitched for 7 months. Following them were Stacey and Mario Espino, a pair who had traded rings a mere 2.5 months prior, their commitment still as fresh as morning dew. Finally, couple number 4, Danielle and Ul Hildreth, stood proudly, having said their vows 10 months ago. Into this atmosphere of anticipation stepped the man of the hour, the star of the show, Bob Eubanks. With a warm smile that had welcomed generations of viewers, he thanked the cheering audience and turned his attention to the 4 couples standing before him. He welcomed them with genuine kindness, his presence grounding the fluttering nerves of the husbands and wives. The game was simple in concept but profound in its ability to reveal the quirks of human connection. The goal was to match answers, to prove that despite the short time they had spent as married pairs, they truly knew the hearts and minds of their partners. The competition carried a magnificent prize, a fabulous second honeymoon for the couple who could demonstrate the highest level of synchronization. Bob explained the opening procedure with the grace of a seasoned host. To begin the festivities, the ladies were escorted to a soundproof room, leaving the husbands alone on stage to face the first round of questions. These were 5-point questions, designed to test how well the men could predict the reactions and thoughts of their beloved wives. Bob turned to Ul Hildreth first. He posed a question about a common domestic occurrence. The last time his wife accidentally woke him from a sound sleep, would she say he got annoyed, got up, or got excited? Ul took a moment to reflect, a thoughtful expression crossing his face before he answered that he simply got up. The simplicity of his response suggested a calm and steady nature. Mario Espino, however, had a different perspective. He admitted that he usually got annoyed, explaining that because he worked during the daylight hours, being disturbed from his precious rest was a bit of a trial. Rip Nevels and Joe Evancheri quickly followed suit, both agreeing that annoyance was their primary emotion in such a scenario. Joe added with a light-hearted sigh that his wife had been bothering and waking him quite a bit lately, painting a picture of a lively and perhaps slightly restless household. The second question delved into the world of gift-giving and the subtle motivations behind it. Bob asked the men what their wives would say was the last present they bought for their husbands that was actually intended for the wives themselves. Mario suggested a piece of lingerie, theorizing that while it was a gift for him to enjoy, it was his wife who chose it and wore it. When Bob playfully asked when he wore it, Mario laughed and clarified that he meant she wore it to bed to spice things up. Rip shared a more humorous anecdote, mentioning a pair of sunglasses that were far too small for him but perfectly suited to his wife's style. Joe brought a smile to everyone's faces by mentioning a box of Frosted Flakes, noting that while she claimed they were for him, she was the one who ended up eating them all. Ul rounded out the group by suggesting a shirt, explaining that his wife had been trying to improve his wardrobe by selecting colors and styles she preferred, much like the very nice shirt he was wearing that day. The final question of the first round took a more adventurous turn, referencing the bold journeys of the Star Trek crew. Bob asked the men to complete a sentence about the most daring or unusual place they had ever gone to make whoopee. Rip recalled a public pool at a resort, a memory that brought a mischievous glint to his eye. Joe, ever the practical man, admitted they were not very adventurous and cited the shower as their most daring location. Ul shared a more elaborate story involving a laundry room in an apartment complex, complete with soap boxes and pillows for comfort. Mario finished the round by describing an old truck parked in the middle of nowhere, where he and his wife had shared a private moment under the vast, open sky. As the show paused for a brief commercial break, the screen filled with messages of safety and protection. A narrator spoke about the importance of digital security in an age where personal information is frequently shared online. The segment highlighted the services of Norton 360 with LifeLock, offering peace of mind to families navigating the complexities of the modern world. It was a reminder that even in the midst of fun and games, caring for one's well-being and security is a vital part of a happy life. When the cameras returned to the studio, the ladies were brought back to the stage to see if their answers would match the predictions made by their husbands. The tension was high but the spirit was light. April Evancheri confirmed that Joe had indeed been annoyed the last time she woke him, explaining that a recent moped accident had made her a bit more demanding of his attention during the night. They earned their first 5 points, celebrating with a joyful cheer. Stacey Nevels also matched with Rip, confirming that he got annoyed when she talked too loudly on the telephone while he was trying to sleep. Mario and Stacey Espino found common ground as well, as she described him as a grumpy sleeper who always woke up in a bad mood. However, Danielle and Ul hit a small snag. Danielle believed Ul got excited when she woke him, while Ul had predicted he simply got up. Despite the miss, they laughed it off, their affection for each other clear to all. The matching continued with the question about the self-serving gifts. Stacey Nevels correctly identified the sunglasses, earning another 5 points for her and Rip. Stacey Espino thought of a music compact disc, missing the mark since Mario had guessed lingerie. Danielle also guessed lingerie, but Ul had been thinking of the shirt she bought to improve his style. April thought of an ice cream cake, while Joe insisted on the frosted flakes, leading to a playful debate about who actually ate the cereal in their house. The final 5-point question about their boldest locations brought more laughter and surprises. Stacey Espino remembered the car in a park in Anaheim, which the judges deemed a close enough match to Mario's old truck. Danielle triumphantly matched Ul's laundry room answer, even adding a humorous detail about the vibrating dryer that made the audience roar with laughter. April mentioned the bathroom, specifically on top of the sink, which Joe had approximated as the shower. Lastly, Stacey Nevels shocked the room by mentioning a car on the 91 freeway while traveling at 55 miles per hour. Although it did not match Rip's memory of a public pool, the sheer audacity of the story left everyone in stitches. Before moving to the next round, another heartwarming message played, this time from the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The segment urged viewers to show mercy and support for abandoned and neglected animals during the cold holiday season. It was a poignant moment that touched on the values of compassion and responsibility, reminding the audience that love extends beyond human relationships to all living creatures. The game then moved into the 10-point round, where the stakes were higher and the questions more personal. With the husbands now secluded, the wives were asked to identify the softest part of their husbands' bodies. Stacey Nevels pointed to Rip's stomach, noting his otherwise athletic build. April chose Joe's chest, or as she playfully called them, his boobs, mentioning that they were quite soft to the touch. Danielle and Stacey Espino both chose their husbands' backsides, describing them as tiny, soft, and very grabbable. The final 10-point question asked the wives to reveal a secret about their husbands that friends and family might not know, completing the sentence that their husband was a closet something. April, after some hesitation, described Joe as a closet odor man, hinting at the lingering sense of his hard work as a police officer. Danielle and Stacey Espino both labeled their husbands as closet sex maniacs, much to the amusement of the audience. Stacey Nevels went a step further, calling Rip a closet freaky and kinky individual. A 25-point bonus question followed, requiring the couples to match the name of the husband's favorite singer exactly. Danielle guessed Tupac for Ul, while Stacey Espino chose Jim Morrison for Mario. Stacey Nevels also went with Tupac for Rip, and April chose Elvis Presley for Joe. After a final break featuring advertisements for innovative home products like the swivel power charging station and comfortable apparel from wherever, the husbands returned for the final reveal. The softest part question caused a great deal of banter. Mario and Rip both correctly guessed their stomachs, earning points. Ul and Joe, however, struggled. Ul guessed his hands while Danielle had said his butt. Joe guessed his butt, but April had famously chosen his chest, leading to a hilarious exchange about Joe's career as a police officer and his supposedly soft features. The Closet Secrets also provided a mix of hits and misses. Ull correctly identified as a freak, which the judge accepted as a match for Sex Maniac. Joe guessed he was a closet singer, missing April's Older Man comment. Rip also guessed singer, missing Stacy's more colorful description. Mario guessed a wild man or party animal, which was accepted as a match for the Sex Maniac label. As the points were tallied, the excitement reached its peak. It was time for the favorite singer bonus. Joe and April started strong, matching on Elvis Presley and bringing their total to 30 points. Ull and Danielle also matched on Tupac, tying the lead at 30. Mario and Stacy moved ahead with a perfect match on Jim Morrison, reaching 35 points. Finally, Rip and Stacy Nevels stepped up. With a shared answer of Tupac, they skyrocketed to 45 points, becoming the grand prize winners of the day. The studio erupted in applause as Rip and Stacy were awarded their fabulous Caribbean cruise. Bob Eubanks, with his signature warmth, thanked all the couples for their participation and the audience for their spirit. It was a day where laughter was the true winner, and where 4 couples walked away with a deeper appreciation for the quirks and qualities that made their partnerships unique. As the credits rolled and the music played one last time, the spirit of the Newlywed Game continued to shine, a testament to the joy of love, the power of honesty, and the simple pleasure of a story well told.